Also, chat. Look, guess what I have? Hiroho made a video or so talking about the VA person. The narcissistic English VA just got destroyed by Blizzard. So I'm super curious to see what Blizzard did. Is Blizzard actually based this time around? We'll see.
On February 7th, one of the most narcissistic and egotistical English voice actors decided to go public with her demands to change Onron in Overwatch.
Hi friends, I'm Fariha and I voice Onron in Overwatch.
Before that though, complaints were already being made by Overwatch players on Reddit saying that Onron in-game looks too cute. She's not like her appearances in other Overwatch-related media. In particular, they really disliked her new nose as well, saying the nose was not big enough.
I don't
For example, this post on the Overwatch subreddit titled "Onron Nose Change," getting over 6,400 upvotes. With the caption, "Automod wants me to write a description, the nose change is bad. She looked so much better before." The VA then decided to go to Twitter and recycle those same complaints. Now, I'm not saying she genuinely doesn't agree with those complaints, but it also comes off like she's really trying to appeal to the Overwatch community by recycling the issues that they were saying. And of course, there is an update to all of this. Blizzard has actually made changes to Onron after all, but they're not the changes this VA and so many Overwatch players were demanding. And now this VA is on an immense cope fest, which is hilarious, but we'll get to that. First, a little bit more context. Here's what she was saying about the whole nose part.
I got to mourn Onron between the design I had hoped for her and the design we ended up with. Because I think in her comic and the cinematic Elemental Kin, there was a precedent set by it. There was a unspoken promise that said, we're going to challenge the beauty standards plaguing and ransacking media these days, right? The Ozempic chic, the contour your nose, you have no nose, the tiniest nose. And I think because of that precedence, people feel understandably let down.
I found this to be so hilariously hypocritical because she's here talking about challenging beauty standards as she goes like above and beyond, putting on all this makeup, even putting contacts on just to record this PSA.
But yeah, but also her girlfriend is also like extremely like crazily over attractive too as well. So it's like what are we doing here, you know?
My main point is about the nose. She complains about, oh, the content creator knows.
I don't know if her
people
girlfriend is like a
want
model
like no
or
nose.
something,
It's so
but
problematic,
it's kind of weird
dude.
and contradicting.
She looks like she contours her own nose. If you're not familiar with that, it is using makeup to make your nose look smaller and or thinner, shorter, thinner. You put a line on each side, like a darker line, a bit lighter in the middle, lighten the tip a little bit, put some darker makeup on the bottom. And that seems to be what she has done in this very clip. So I was like, lady, how are you going to complain about this standard when you yourself are partaking in the same standard in the very same video that you're complaining about it in? So performative, so fake, so typical.
And I want you to know that I shared all of this with the dev team. Not only that, I was encouraged to be as open and honest as possible, to not hold anything back. And it's my hope that this isn't for naught, right? That they see it, they hear it from you all too. And while it's it's not my position to decide what can be done and what gets done about this, I will keep championing for...
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, guys. You know what? I think maybe we were too harsh on Pokimane. Maybe we were too harsh on Valkyrie. We might have even been too harsh on Frogan. Take a look at this.
Nah.
Okay, obviously that's a joke, but let's take a look at the update, right? She says she hopes this was not for naught. Well, it turns out it was. And as mentioned, the cope is just reaching... the cope is... I don't even know. What word would you even describe like the most immense cope possible? It's like S tier levels of cope. She has maxed out her cope stat. Last night she posted, so grateful for this update. She looks much more like the strong older sibling we knew her to be. Thank you Team 4 and thank you Overwatch community. Talking more in depth about this on stream tonight. See ya there. So what is this change? What is she responding to? Well, we have Overwatch official here saying, in Season 2, we're introducing an updated look for Onron. She didn't fully land as the fiery and fierce sister of Wu Yang that we hoped she would. With this update, our team focused on strengthening her overall presence. This evolution reflects both our creative intent and the care we've taken in shaping the hero. See her rise from the ashes when Season 2 starts on April 14th.
I wanted to take a moment to share the updated version of Onron's in-game look. We want our heroes to feel unique, but we also want their visuals to match their personality. And we feel like we didn't quite land that when Onron first released. We think she could come across older and that her original version was too innocent and playful. Onron is confident, determined, fierce, and a natural-born leader, and we want her visuals in-game to convey that personality. So we made some adjustments to her face. We focused on her eyes, eyebrows, and mouth, and we moved away from that baby face look and expression to something more sincere and more mature.
I don't like the second one as much. I like the first one more.
Even something like a simple posture change can help Onron feel, well, more like Onron.
I think they did a good job with the change. Overwatch and Blizzard in general has been criticized a lot lately over the Disneyfication, right? And the old design, as you can see here, definitely
I just don't like
fit that Disneyfication stereotype.
Because like the timing for it is just weird, you know? That's why. That's the only reason why. You know, if it was like, if the timing was completely different, I'd had no problem whatsoever. But it's just kind of odd or so that that this VA is talking about it and trying to push towards it, and then Blizzard comes out or so saying that like, oh, we're gonna change her look so she looks a little bit more better. So it's just the timing. The timing is just weird.
Plenty. The new design still has the Overwatch art style, of course, but I think it is a better look. It's a little bit less Disney-fied, and I think that's a good move. Let's also be clear, though, this is not what Farine, or whatever her name is, the Onron VA, and the vocally upset part of the Overwatch community wanted. They wanted something more akin to this once again. You know, they wanted the nose to be bigger, they wanted all this other stuff. That's not what they got. And now, as mentioned, the cope is immense, which we can see on her recent Twitch stream where she talks about these changes. Go ahead and take a look at this.
We got some exciting news. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in this side-by-side, it doesn't look so extreme, right? But I need to pull this into... I need to pull this into something because holy... Okay, can I do Clip Studio Paint? Let's overlay these two together and you'll see how drastic the change is because holy butts. I have not gotten used to Clip Studio Paint yet. All right. Give me opacity lowered? Sure. Okay. All right. See the difference between the two? Oh my god, Clip Studio. You're so rough. Okay. That's such a huge change. Right?
No, not right. What do you mean? It's a subtle change. I like the change, but acting like it's a huge change. Oh my gosh, guys. Like, dude.
Now you kind of understand the reason why I disapprove of this, because she's gonna get this ego fed into her to saying like, oh, I'm the one who changed her bottle. See, I have the power. I can do whatever I want, you know? That's the problem. That's literally straight up the problem that I have specifically about this. So, well, now you know. So that's the only reason why I like the older one a lot more, because it's against her views. That's number one, it's against her views. And then number two, the timing of that basically saying like, oh, you know, Blizzard's like coming in, we're gonna change her a little bit or so. She doesn't look like what she needs to do or so, you know? It's just kind of like, you know.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record now for saying again, this cope is tremendous, but like it is. I don't know what else to say. This is just sad at this point. I mean, not literally sad. It's hilarious, but you know, figure of speech.
Pretty sad,
this is also a slight like posture change, so it can't be like a direct overlay. But let's bring in a Juno screenshot. Yeah. Okay.
And then yeah, you can see she pulls up this other character, Juno. In other words,
I like Juno. She's cute. I like her.
Her evidence was working so much against her point, and she realized that that within mere seconds, she took off the Onrin comparisons and decides to pull up a completely separate character now, once again, that being Juno, which is now a completely separate point of contention than what she's been arguing this whole time. It's a complete pivot.
To get here, this is all like cheating the light to make it fall a little differently. It's painting features in different spots and just tweaking the slightest proportions on things, but it's so very subtle, but it does so much. So let's go through the things that I notice on first glance, right?
And now to top it off, she completely contradicts her prior claims. Like a minute ago, 2 minutes ago maybe, she was saying, "It's such an extreme change, guys," right? To which I responded saying, "No, it's not, it's subtle." And now, a minute or two later, and she's the one saying it's subtle. She's completely contradicting her point that happened an extremely short time ago. But how's the Overwatch community on Twitter doing? Let's take a look. Well, some of them are not happy at all with this change. For example, this tweet that got 4,800 likes that responds to the news posting the new Onrin compared to what they wanted her to be, going on to say, "Yeah, I'm not gonna speak. Whatever." Other users having a bit of duality, responding to the official news, for example, the one in the middle saying she looks fire, thank you for listening, but others saying that they wish that Blizzard did a bit more with her nose though, and she does look better, but I feel like they forgot about her nose. It's the final thing that would tie this together. Over on Reddit, we can see this user got -7 downvotes for saying her nose should be hookier. But then this person gets 7 upvotes agreeing with that person saying, yeah, like in the anime, it makes her look more regal. I liked it. Another comment saying, does she have her sharper nose back? I can't tell from the picture. Response saying, unfortunately not. Seems like they've mainly focused on her eyes, eyebrow expression, and posture, but I can live with this new version of her. So that's a little bit of public reception, and
yeah, so this is the only reason why I just kind of like disapprove of this 100%. So I that's why I prefer the older model compared to the new one or so. And honestly, it's just kind of like it is what it is. Here, bring back the mindset of I just voice a character versus the current I am the character. I'm too employed for this. What is it like? Seven voice lines in the character? Can we make a VA sign an NDA so they stop running their mouths when they're ruining everything in the media? Yes. I think we should have something like that for VAs people, to be honest. I think Western VAs have gotten out of control, to be honest, in my personal opinion. It's a little bit absurd. Like, it's kind of like, what do you I don't know. Like, I want to do VA stuff, but then like looking at some of this in general just makes me like want to stay away from it from good, to be honest. Like, I want to, but then I'm like looking at this just makes me deteriorated from it. But then that side of me or so, wants to come back. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like a struggle in between. I don't know. We'll see. I'll see what I'll do or so. I'll think about it. I kind of do, but then I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And yeah, that's the only reason why I don't like. Like, at the end of the day, you're making a video game for gamers. You're not making a video game for the one person on the internet who voices the character. So make it make sense to me. And yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. And honestly, not a huge fan. And peace.